Hello everyone, welcome to the 8th episode of Pallikudam Smart Boards. Today in Smart News, I'm going to share a very important information with you. Let us say you have a runny nose, cough and headache. How do you know if they are the signs of a common cold or COVID-19? Dr. Sadia Khan of Northwestern University in the USA explains the symptoms for COVID-19 and how they are different from typical seasonal viruses and allergies. Let's have a look at the guidelines. The doctor explains the symptoms of allergy: runny or stuffy nose, sneezing, itchy throat, itchy eyes and postnatal drainage. For common cold, runny or stuffy nose, sneezing, sore throat, cough, sinus congestion and postnatal drainage. For the flu, you will get high fevers, sore throat, cough, shortness of breath, muscle aches or weakness, fatigue and nausea, vomiting or diarrhea. And for COVID-19, you will get high fevers, deep cough, difficulty breathing, muscle aches or weakness, fatigue, nausea, vomiting or diarrhea, loss of taste and smell. One symptom that seems to be unique to COVID-19 is a loss of sense of smell or taste. However, none of these symptoms are perfect to diagnose the cause of cold-like symptoms, and the only way to know for sure is to get tested. Now, let me take you to the major stories of Pallikudam Smart Boards this week. So, we discussed about the COVID-19 symptoms. Now, let me tell you how to prepare your child for a COVID test, which has become common or inevitable these days. I have got some useful tips from two experts at Children's National Hospital, Washington DC in the USA. Tip number 1. Explain what COVID-19 is. Make sure your child has a basic understanding of what COVID-19 is and why they need to be tested. Tip number 2. Explain what your child will see at the testing center. Tell them that the person doing the test will wear a full personal protective equipment including a gown, gloves, mask and a face shield. Tip number 3. Explain the testing process. Be honest and tell your child that they may feel uncomfortable but the test will be over very quickly. And tip number 4. Practice the testing process. Younger kids may benefit from role-playing the coronavirus test at home with a stuffed animal or doll. If you know your child will be getting a saliva test, give them a little container to practice spitting in. Tip number 5. Comfort your child during the test. Be sure to sit beside them and hold their hand. And the last tip, make plans for a special reward after the test. Have you heard of the Learning Passport? It is a collaboration between UNICEF, Microsoft and the Cambridge University to address the challenges faced by over 30 million children and youth to access continued quality education due to disruptions caused by crisis and displacement. When the COVID-19 shuttered schools for more than 90% of the world's school children, the platform underwent rapid expansion to help children access their school curriculum and other learning materials remotely. Joining this, Imperial College London and TWIG have launched a new initiative to create science content for UNICEF Learning Passport. The science content created by Imperial expert educators and created by TWIG Education's remote learning team will be available to children and young people using the Learning Passport in Jordan, Somalia, Timor-Leste and Ukraine. As the world responds to the COVID-19 pandemic, we face a bigger challenge of misinformation related to the virus. In response to this, a major new project at King's College London and the University of Bristol will study the impact of COVID-19 misinformation. The researchers will look at public trust issues around COVID-19 and how distrust can affect compliance with public health measures. The 18-month project will begin on 2nd of November. You all know how students all over the world have been affected by the COVID-19 outbreak in the beginning of this year. To support students while they struggle to find work amid the pandemic, McGill University in Canada launches new work integrated learning opportunities for students to develop important digital skills for the future with the support of the Government of Canada's Student Work Placement Program and Technation, Canada's leading national technology association. The university will hire 169 undergraduate and graduate students as remote learning assistants to support teaching staff in adapting and delivering academic courses for remote delivery. Princeton University in the USA has launched a new campus advocate program to support a safe campus environment during the COVID-19 pandemic. Campus advocates will work inside buildings to educate faculty, staff and students about the university's health and safety guidelines. The program has been launched on October 19 with approximately 100 employees working as campus advocates. MIT and Accenture have announced a 5-year collaboration named the MIT and Accenture Convergence Initiative for Industry and Technology to develop learning and research through new business convergence insights in technology and innovation. Accenture will work with MIT to establish opportunity on multiple fronts, like from graduate fellowships awarded to graduate students working on research in industry and technology convergence to an ambitious educational program targeting Accenture's employees. Please visit our website www.pallikudam.com to read all these stories in detail and many more. Now we are moving on to our next segment, Smart Quiz. Before seeing today's question, let me give you the answer of Smart Quiz last week. The question was, which of the following adopted a law on data protection and privacy for its citizens known as General Data Protection Regulation in April 2016 and started implementation of it from 25th of May 2018? And the answer is option C, the European Union. Now this week's question. Name a clinical trial in which blood is transfused from recovered COVID-19 patients to a coronavirus patient who is in critical condition. Let me repeat. Name a clinical trial in which blood is transfused from recovered COVID-19 patients to a coronavirus patient who is in a critical condition. And your options are option A, plasma therapy, option B, solidarity, option C, remdesivir, and option D, hydrochloroquine. You can write all your answers in comments and get featured in the next episode. We'll be back next week with a new set of updates. Meanwhile, don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates from Pallikudam. Thank you. Goodbye.